Okay, today we're going to continue with rewriting equations and formulas. In example 1, a fever is generally considered to be a body temperature greater than 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Your friend has a temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. Does your friend have a fever? Well, the first thing you want to do is start with the formula, and we are given a formula for Celsius. To calculate Celsius is equal to 5/9 of the Fahrenheit minus 32. So we are given that the friend's temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, so we know C. What we don't know is F. So we want to rearrange and solve for F. So the first thing I can do is multiply both sides by 5/9. Let's try that again. By 9/5, because I'm trying to get rid of 5/9. So multiplying both sides by 9/5. This will cancel, the 5s will cancel, the 9s will cancel. The last thing I want to do is add 32 to both sides, so that when I rewrite the equation, the degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 of the degrees Celsius plus 32. Now I can solve this. So 9/5 of 37 plus 32. If I solve that, I get 66.6 plus 32, which is equal to 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. And so to answer the question, does my friend have a fever? No. In example 2, how much money must you deposit in a simple interest account to earn $500 in interest in 5 years at 4% annual interest? So in this example, we're working with the interest formula. So if you recall, interest is equal to PRT, the principal times the rate times the time. So again, we know the interest, $500, we know the time, and we know the rate. What we're looking for is P. We want to rearrange the equation to solve for P. So P is being multiplied by R and by T. If we divide both sides by R and T, we will get principal is equal to the interest divided by the rate times time. So plug in what we know, so we're using substitution to solve for the unknown. And when you put in your rate, make sure you're using the decimal form of the percent. So remember to drop the percent symbol. It means per 100 you're dividing by 100, which moves the decimal point 2 places to the left. And always in these types of problem, we want our time to be a measure of years. So if I multiply 5 and 0.04, I get 0.2. So in this case, my principal is going to be equal to $2,500. And finally, example 3. A truck driver averages 60 miles per hour while delivering freight and 45 miles per hour on the return trip. The total driving time is 7 hours. So let's think about this. One, we're going to be starting with the formula distance is equal to rate times time. The question is, how long does each trip take? So he has a different rate delivering as returning. So the two together, the two rates, or the two trips together, delivering and returning, are a total of 7 hours. We need to know, time for delivering and time for returning. So first let's rearrange the formula. We want to solve for time, so we are going to divide both sides by the rate. So we get time is equal to the distance divided by the rate. And remember in distance rate time problems, it's the speed is your rate. So this 65 miles per hour is your delivering speed, and 45 miles per hour for your return trip speed. The total driving time, so the two together, so it's kind of like this. We have time for delivering plus time for returning equals 7 hours. So if we relate and replace these t's with this right here and fill in the information that we have, we won't know the distance, but we can solve for the distance and then use that information to then solve for the time. So we would have the delivering is the rate, so the rate is 60 miles per hour, so distance over 60, plus for returning, distance over 45, and we know that that is equal to 7. So we'll have to get some like terms, denominators here, some common denominator. One thing you can do is just multiply the 60 and the 45 together, but I don't like to do that. So if you recall, you can use the least common multiple. So I'll kind of do a quick calculation over here. If I take 60 and 45, and then I start dividing out some common factors. Say I divide out 5, so I get 12 and 9. They're both divisible by 3. And they're not divisible by anything, so then I multiply all of these together. I could get that the least common denominator is equal to 180. So 60 times 3 gives me 180, so d times 3. So I get 3d over 180. And then 45 times 4 is 180. So d times 4, 4d over 180, and that's all equal to 7. So I can add the like terms, so I get 3d plus 4d, which is 7d over 180 is equal to 7. I'm switch colors here to make it a little easier for the next step. So I can multiply both sides by 180, so 7d is equal to, and you know what, I'm going to erase that. Let's do this. Let's multiply both sides, we'll save a little bit of time, by 180 over 7. Okay, the 7's will cancel. So d is now equal to 180. A lot of similar numbers here. Now, if I take my 180 and divide by 60, okay, going into here to get the time right here, so 180 divided by 60, the delivery trip is 3 hours, and 180 divided by 45 means that my return trip is 4 hours. And then you kind of want to check it out. 4 plus 3 does equal 7 for the round trip.